Morning traders, this is the prep video for the ES futures, the S&P 500 futures, and plunge protection team's been working overnight. You can see this big run up in order to get it over a sticking point that they had yesterday down here. So they've made some progress. They're currently pounding against the top of a volume node, and we can take a look and see just exactly where we're going to trade to and how fast we're going to get there. So if you like the analysis, please subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below, and let's take a look. Let's go. Good morning. It is the prep video for 6/6/2019. It's 4:30 in the morning. Plunge protection team's pushing this market up. We're looking at the weekly real quick here, just to give you a sense that you get this big volume node all the way up here. We're looking at 2860 here for the big level, 2855. There's something at 2852, and a level at 2846. We're already into this level here at 37 and attempting to push through it. If we trade back, we've got something at 2831 and 2822 and 2813, and all the way down there's going to be something at 2800 where that big gap is right there. So that's the weekly. We look over here on the daily. We had that impulse leg up, two legs back into support. We're getting the big bounce. Our only big volume node up here is at 2861 and 2865. Those are both within daily range. Daily range on the ATR is 3749. And that gives us a range of 2871 to 2798. So that's where we look for our scalping levels and our trades. You can see we pushed over this 2831 area. They were having a lot of problems with it yesterday, and they weren't able to get past it till the very end of the day. And then after hours, they pushed over it, pushed through this gap right here, which, if you look back here, there's a high volume node. And I went over that like 2 videos, chart review, the volume nodes, and how the past high volume nodes end up being the areas, the low volume nodes, and then what the low volume nodes are, the high volume nodes are. It's vice versa, but it just it starts to fill in the low volume nodes. Anyways, pushed up, and now we've got a major level back at 2822, and I don't think that we're going to fall back at all today. I'll show you in the intraday. But you've got this 2846 level that's up above. Really, there's this 2841 which matches with these tops right here, and I could see that that is the bottom of a candle right there. You've got open and close combo right there. So 2841, I'm sure they'll run it right up. It'll pull back just a tiny bit, and then they'll jam it through, and you'll be stuck into this node. 2846 and 2860 looks like the right one. But that's on the daily. Volume was less yesterday, showing that there's not as many people buying this rally, but it's still a good rally. I think we were going to trade all the way up into the big node. I don't know if we'll make it there today. Yesterday was pretty lackluster, but we'll see. If you look back over here, you have this huge volume node above that when you encompass everything, but you've got low volume pretty much all through here. So I'm kind of counting this as like lower volume. It's just this particular node right here that shows up on both profiles, that 2846. We usually weigh the most current volume as more important. And then this is the 2840 or 2860 right here, and keep on showing that. The 46 really doesn't show up most current, so you know, there's actually a pretty big gap in here, and I think you could get a fast travel across here. But again, I point out that 46 node because it does show up on the bigger time frame. It's just not as recent as when you start to just profile this little section right here. But you know, you do have a candle right here, but we're testing the top of this. We've already tested the top and pulled back, and you can see that they're pushing it up through right now. I've already went ahead and threw a trade on in the micro ES, and so to try and capture this, because I think we can get this pre-market and get moving. I'm sure they want the market over this because they want to break this structure. They want the market up over this before the open of the market, because what they want to do is have it trade back and use this and this as support for the launching all the way up into the 2860 area. Hope that makes sense. I also wanted to bring up this. So if you notice all the bottoms right here and then the tops of these candles, look how they line up perfectly with this high volume node. This was the area that they all traded into. And then if we look across all the tops right here, look, it goes right into this high volume node. And then this all happened overnight, but there's a level here at 2831, and I'll show you that. And then there's 2837. I'll show you that too on the next couple charts here. So showing you that this area is pretty thin right through here, not a lot of positions, so you could get a fast run once it gets up over this level, which they're fighting right now. You've got this little volume node that they're banging against and trying to push through. And you can see that they're pulling off just a little tiny bit with that tail bit. That 2836, you can see how that lines up all nice right here with that little volume node, and that's what they're pounding against right there. Here's that level 2830. You can see that lines up real nice with this little spike over here. Right here, this big guy. 2828. And so that's that volume node that they were fighting. And we'll look at it intraday. And here's that 2860 level. The high point is 2858 in that particular little section right there. The high point, back when you take a look at all of it, is 2860. So you think that it's got momentum when it comes up and hits. And then 2854 is the little spike right below it. So could hit this, bounce, make another bounce. You know, it's like the two-leg, you know, kind of like where you're coming down, bounce, and then the next one's a bounce. You're coming down, bounce, another bounce. This one, bounce, and then another bounce. That's what you kind of get right when you're going to come up. You're going to hit this, bounce off a little bit, and then bounce up into this one, and then maybe get a bigger bounce down at that point. That's what I'm looking at. So this intraday chart here, you can see all night they've been holding it and trying to push it up. The green outlines on the red candles show that there was more active buying in the candle. It's the delta down here, so they were actively buying this candle. Even though it was red, they were actively buying this candle even though it was red. They're continually trying to buy this and push it up, and you can see on the level 2 right here, all these asks on the level 2, and they're trying to hold it, and they're going to try and force it back down. They don't want this area conquered right at this point. So like I said, if they break the structure, then it, might be off to the races, because there's nothing up here, nobody to help them hold back the flood. So they want to control this little area right here, and you can see that they're trying to keep it from breaking the structure right at this point. A thing to be worrisome about, I guess, is on the downside that if it gets down below the little cluster that they built, there's no volume in here, right? This is all empty, so it could fall fast all the way back to 28, 29 in a hurry if the sellers stay in control. Just more of the same right here. Thin. It's not as thin when you look at all the volume, but the most recent volume is thin, and I guess this is thin right here. You can see that right through there. There's nothing there, so it could fall back fast too and find support on the 28, 29 area. So just keep that in mind. And for symmetry this morning, I actually just continued the lines from yesterday on up. You can see how perfect the current little cluster is, just trading back and forth within here. So the 100% range extension is up to 2840, 2843. And just for curiosity, so we had 43, 45, 48, so 3. So that would put you at 60, I think 51, 60. Trying to calculate it out. I think I'm trying to figure out that 60 level, where it's going to fall at. Yeah, right on it. 60. So you could see just range extension all the way up to 60, and it'll work out nice and symmetric. So they'll defeat this. The first stop will be 40. It'll pull back, and then the next stop, this one's a little bit off. But anyways, you don't want to see me adjust a little bit higher, 60, 50. Anything else that I can tell you for this morning? I'm definitely positive on the market. There's heavier sellers up here right now trying to hold this thing, but every once in a while you get these big old spikes up that the buyers are doing, trying to bust some levels here. And it's thin through here, so be careful if you're trying to take scalps and go to the short side, because there's just nothing really kind of to push it down. There's no big sell levels until you get up here into this kind of 60 level, but you can still take scalps. I think I've got you know, one at 42 and one at 50 and then 56 up here. So there's a couple levels in there, but again, it's better to let them trade through and use them maybe as a springboard to the next level, trade through, springboard to the next level. And then if you really want to scalp something, sometimes it's better to let it go 2 levels, and then you'll get a better scalp out of it. But okay, I wish you luck in your trading today, and I'll see you in the afternoon for the chart review. Take care.